about that. I wanted to talk about this, dude. This is okay. First off, this blew up like 3.7K, not too bad. Like that's a pretty average viral tweet for me, I guess. Um, the new Spider-Man movie is quite terrible. First off, I want to like preface this. I haven't seen the new Spider-Man movie. I'm not interested, really. You know, I'm not a hater. It's like I really just have no feelings on it one way or the other. You know what I mean? Like my opinions on the new Spider-Man movie are like completely neutral. If you like it, that's great. If you don't like it, that's great. You know, I don't care. It's just not for me, and that's fine. Like I just don't. You know what I mean? It's just not like something that particularly interests me. You know, and that's okay. I don't need everything to cater to me as a 38-year-old man. Like I get it. Um, so and that's fine. It's whatever. But I haven't seen it. I have no opinions of it. Like I honestly, I'm like so neutral. I don't care. Right? And it's it's embarrassing. I do think it's embarrassing to be like a 40-year-old guy and you're bitching about a movie for kids. And I said this, breaking news, movie made for kids doesn't appeal to 40-year-old man. And people like really got mad at me and they said first off that I'm shilling. I mean, this is how like really honestly, Twitter is the worst place. I love it. I love it because I can just be toxic on there and piss people off and troll. And I love that. You guys know me. I love just making people mad. And I made a lot of people mad with the tweet, which brought me a lot of joy. But what's funny about this stuff is like people are like their brains are broken because I said this and people are like this is actually not a movie made for kids. It's like dude, they sell toys for kids of the new Spider-Man movie. Like I don't know when like how insane you've become, but like as it turns out, yeah, superhero movies are still made for children. Like adults can enjoy them too, sure, but like at the end of the day, they are catered like more for it's Spider-Man, dog. Like look at some of these comments, like straight up, look at some of these comments. He literally said there were no kids in the theater. Yeah, what he probably went like 11 a.m. on a Tuesday or something. You know what I mean? Also, if there's no kids in the theater, that still doesn't mean that kids aren't the primary demographic. Like, dude, look at this, okay? What's the name of it? Is it No Way Home or what? Spider-Man. Oh, Brand New Day. Brand New Day toys, okay? This is okay. They literally, dude, they make fucking action like you mean to tell me this is not for kids, dog? You know what I mean? You're telling me this is not for children? This is literally branded toys for the movie, dog. Okay? Like my buddy has a kid who's like I would say younger than 8, okay? Fucking loves Spider-Man. All right? Like loves Spider-Man. You buy him a Spider-Man toy, he's like he loves it, okay? It's for kids. A millennial man is buying that. Okay, maybe. Yeah, but that's the thing. But here's the thing. Just because like there are man children, that's the thing. It's like if you say this isn't for kids, then you're sort of like depreciating the label of man child, right? That's kind of the whole point. Is that this is made for kids and like again adults can enjoy it, but if you're too into it, then you're a man child, you know? That's kind of the point. That's how the insult kind of works. Is that you're a grown ass man who's way too passionate about things that are made for kids. That's kind of like the whole point of the insult. You know what I mean? In defense of man children, that's not even what I'm doing. Like again, That's like a dumb take. Like, what do you say? I'm saying you're depreciating man-child being an insult then. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is like you're taking power away from the man-child insult.
Show me this guy's balls, please.
You know what I mean?
Paul Town Viewer _ new sent $5. Grieve not the brief span of thy shadow, nor bow before the tall cedar. For the small measure is chosen for the golden crown. He who dwelleth low to the dust shall yet harvest the high places.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the 5. Appreciate it. Is the bit that you're trying to send in some like very deep and esoteric quote and then you power chat in like a rap video? You're trying to show your range? Is that what it is? I'm fine with it. Is this gonna be good?
I come off the top, yeah, if I ain't hit tap, yeah, put them in a box. If you say my name, then on that same day, nigga, death gon' knock. If you say my name,
the vocals are terrible, but the beat's not bad.
try knock 'em off, yeah, who next? Taco swap, GSP. Fuck the law, we high speed through they block. All I bang
Yeah, the vocals are terrible, but I kind of like the beat though a little bit. I kind of fuck with the beat. I do. I kind of fuck with the beat a little bit. This would be very appropriate for the topic that we're about to talk about, by the way. But I want to find. There was like one. This is the one. They're not made for kids, and you can't honestly believe they are. They're made for kids, dog. This guy, Lady Gaga Groiper, I don't know who this is. He's like, he was like spurging out. Like, this is a whole argument, bro. It's so, I was cracking up yesterday reading this shit. Like, they're not made for kids. They really are. Like, yeah, they are. Like, people are acting like these are like R-rated hardcore pornography flicks, by the way. You know what I mean? It's like, no, dog. It's a Spider-Man movie. Kids are the intended audience. I hate to break it to you. You know what I mean? Like, they make them, I mean, really, maybe that's being a little disingenuous, right? They're made for everybody, including kids, right? Yeah, exactly. They're made for the broadest audience possible, yeah, which includes children. You know what I mean? So, maybe I'm being a little disingenuous, but I think I'm still accurate, right? Because we're gonna get into like the Matt Walsh thing, but I just want to roast the commenters first, just a little bit, if that's okay. Because it's really funny. It's really fun. It's really, this whole thread's funny. I was like, he says a movie about a Spider-Man crawling around saving the city from the evil bad guys is absolutely for kids. What are you talking about? Like W, by the way. Like, yeah, you are correct. And here comes Lady Gaga Groiper, version 2. If it was only made for kids, there wouldn't have been a naked woman in a bath asking Spider-Man to undress. Like, what are you talking about? You mean to tell me there's full frontal nudity in the new Spider-Man movie? That sounds awesome. If that's true, I will absolutely go see that. Yeah. They made toys for RoboCop and Conan the Barbarian in the 80s. Yeah, and guess what? I watched those when I was a kid. I did. I watched both of those movies when I was a kid. So I don't know. Dude, I fucking loved RoboCop as a kid. Like, are you kidding me? And that movie is insane. It's still insane. I still love RoboCop, by the way. I think I still have my collector. I have it on the 4K. It's insane how good that movie's held up. But yeah, that's just kind of how it is, you know. You see shoulders, LOL. No, you see nothing. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Imagine like pearl clutching over. A child can't see a woman's exposed shoulders. That's perfectly normal for a PG movie. You think that's inappropriate for a 17-year-old kid to see in the theater? It's explicitly marketed towards children. That's like saying Fortnite is for kids because there's guns, or My Little Pony just isn't for kids because some adults watch. This is where it lost the plot, though, in the thread. No, sexual assault is not perfectly normal for a PG movie. Sexual assault, now. In Spider-Man. You mean to tell me... Guys, I think... Is Harvey Weinstein back? Is that what happened? Like... We're claiming now... Sexual assault... in the new Spider-Man movie. You are an insane person. at this point. Like, you should probably be institutionalized. I'm sorry, you're an insane person. Like, this is nuts, right? You said it was for kids, now you're saying it's for 17-year-olds. So basically adults, 17-year-olds. So wait, now this person went from saying sexual assault is in the new Spider-Man movie, and now 17-year-olds are adults, which I guess is basically implying that you want to fuck 17-year-olds, which is, again, a weird claim, but all right, whatever. 17-year-olds are not children. Okay, well, again, you're skirting some weird. I don't know what you believe. There's a lot of stuff going on here. You know what I mean? No, I'm not saying it's for kids because a woman makes a man strip naked and then makes a gay rape joke. I think, I'm sorry, R34 joke. I don't know what that means. Oh, like Rule 34, but I don't. What? Like, there's just so much going on with all of this. Like, you can tell this person's not, like, mentally stable. So the guy replies, sorry, but you're talking like such a F-slur. I can't even understand you. Enjoy your Spider-Man Kids movie, I guess. Have fun with your colorful red and blue superhero beating up the bad guys. Keep telling yourself it's for adults and get mad at it with Matt Walsh. Sorry, but my IQ is below 80, so I can't understand basic concepts like 17-year-olds not being children. I didn't enjoy it because it's shit. If Spider-Man was only for toddlers, he wouldn't be. I don't know what's going on. Like, this is the most insane argument I've ever seen on Twitter in my entire life. You know what I mean? It really is. This is the most insane argument I've ever seen or witnessed in my entire life. You know? Like, what is, like, people are crazy. It's a woman, is it? I don't know. But it is insane. Like, there's so much going on here. You're talking to me like I have any interest in seeing children's media. I don't. You do. That's fine. Just keep it to yourself. You lost the argument and retreated to, no, I don't really care at all, bro. Stay in your own lane, you fucking lame homo. There's no argument. Superheroes are for kids. Maybe you're 17 and don't think you're a kid anymore, but around 16 or 17, you should be leaving all that behind unless you have small children yourself. Okay. It's like two chuds, though. It's like, I think you're, you know... Oh, this guy asked AI, so that proves it. The average age... This is an AI thing, you know? Also, like, I hate to break it to everybody, okay? There probably are going to be more adults that go to the movie theater to see, like, the new Spider-Man movie than kids. Mainly because kids don't have a disposable income or a car or a driver's license. You know, typically somebody has to take them, you know, to go see the movie. As it turns out, 8-year-olds don't have a job, you know? So I guess maybe this could be accurate. But either way, I still think my point stands that they're mainly for kids, you know? And it's okay for adults to like them. I don't care. I'm not saying that. The point of this, after that insane argument, the point of this is that Matt Walsh, like, just acknowledge the context of this here. Matt Walsh, you're a 40-year-old man, I suppose with children, you're married, and you've recorded for your job a 30-minute critique of a Spider-Man movie for your conservative podcast. You know, like, that's just really not a bad look. Now, look, when I ranted for like 3 hours about the Odyssey, that's at least okay, because that's a film that's meant to be appreciated as like an art form, and it's kind of targeted more for adults, you know? So it makes sense to break it down, to get into it, and to discuss it. This is like garbage, you know? And I don't mean that like the quality of it. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't seen it. I have no thoughts about the movie anyway. But you know what I mean? It's like, it's slop. And that's what it's meant, that's what it's designed for. It is mass marketed, focus group tested slop for every single person to enjoy. It tries to appeal to the widest possible demographic. You know, it's not intended to be art. You know, the intention when you make something like this is to entertain people and take their money. You know, they're trying to make as much money as they possibly can. You know, I think that's the thing. This is like doing like a 3-hour long thesis on like a Beyonce album. You know, and again, it's like it's not meant for you though. You know what I mean? Like they had like Marvel. I think Marvel has like their like target audience at this point. And granted, it is a wide net, but it's not really for like serious people. You know what I mean? It's not. And that's okay. That's fine. You know what I mean? I think it's like you try to frame yourself as like a very serious political commentator, a serious person and a serious human being. It's not, this isn't for you. You're just not the target demographic for this. And that's okay. But it's weird to spurg out because it didn't appeal to you. You know, and that's kind of the point that I'm trying to make. And it's not meant to appeal to me either. You know what I mean? They don't make Marvel movies for me, for a guy that likes like David Cronenberg and David Lynch and Akira Kurosawa. You know what I mean? Like, I'm excited to go see Kobayashi Kurosawa's Sword of the Samurai. You know, that's more like my speed. That's meant for me, really. And like Japanese people, but like mainly me. I really want to go see that movie. That's more my speed, right? Like, not Spider-Man. And that's okay. That's fine. Everybody's got different tastes. I hate this, like, I hate conservatives, man. I do. I was like joking around with Michael Lionheart, but I am becoming woke. I am becoming woke because, man, they know how to have fun. And I want to have fun. I want to have a good time and be happy. It is like you are a miserable group of people to be around because all you do is bitch and complain about fucking everything. And I do, don't be wrong. Me personally, I love to bitch and complain sometimes. Okay. I love it. But at least when you try to do it, you should try to be funny when you do it. You know what I mean? I just feel like you can vent and be funny. This is not funny. Like, you're just seething about Spider-Man and you're fucking 40. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You're 40 years old and you're just filming yourself seething about Spider-Man. Like, I'm sorry. I want to watch this. I do want to watch. Like, let's give it a bit. Let's give it a bit.
As you may have heard, a new Spider-Man
because I didn't even. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't even bother to hit play on this when I quote tweeted it. I saw the caption and I'm just like, get a fucking life, you loser. That was my instant thought. You know, I was like, dude, get laid or something. I don't know. That was my instant thought.
Was released last week. The movie has crushed box office records, already raking in something like, though I haven't Googled this, $40 trillion in its first week, I think it was. Spider-Man has earned more money in a week than the GDP of every sub-Saharan African country combined, or close enough.
By the way, this is a great way to open. Yeah, wow, this movie came out and everybody loves it and it's making tons of money and it's really popular. And I think it freaking stinks. You know? Like, what are we doing? I mean, seriously. Like, I'm trying to, like, examine this from a political angle here. You know? Your goal is, like, as a conservative, is to, like, get people to want to support you and your ideas and your causes so you can win and gain power and control. And for the past month, what have conservatives been doing? Oh, The Odyssey? That's really popular and everybody likes it. Well, I think it fucking sucks. You know? Oh, what's this? Spider-Man is like crushing box office numbers, has great reviews, and everybody seems to enjoy it. Well, I think it freaking stinks. Like, we're seething about stuff that everybody likes. Like, that's what it. You're just like, you look. Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say, Baby Puncher. You just look like a miserable piece of shit to any normal person. You're not fun to be around. You're just a whiner. This is what conservatives are. Conservatives are fucking whiners and complainers, and like I want nothing to do with that at all. And no normal person does. This freaking Odyssey's got black people in it. Ah! Like, who cares? This fucking movie's not historically accurate. It's fucking bullshit. Yeah, well, I don't think they had Cyclopses back then either, man. I don't know. I'm not that tilted by it, dog. I don't think they were really shooting for historical accuracy here. I think it's a fucking movie. You know? This fucking Spider-Man's gotten freaking woke. Okay, I mean, I don't know, dog. I don't care. Like, what are we doing? It's crazy that this is where their mind goes, and it just shows like you're a bitter and miserable person. You know, at the end of the day, like I'm not saying everybody's gonna be like kumbaya, hold hands, everything's great. Again, love to bitch, love to complain, but I love. Here's the thing, too. This is what really kills me. Matt Walsh does not know, like, cinema or film. You're not an expert. You watch dog shit, dog. You watch, like, dad movies. Like, your favorite movie's probably, like, Pearl Harbor. You know? That's what kills me about everybody. Like, I'm not trying to, like, sit on this high horse because I watch, like, artistic films and I'm a cinephile and blah, 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 Criterion Collection. I'm not even, like, saying that. But it's like, you just don't know anything about film anyways, and then you want to go out there and act like you're a fucking expert and like try to pick it apart. All of your criticisms are fucking retarded. You know what I mean? If the point, like, it's crazy. Like, the point of like criticizing the Odyssey and criticizing Spider-Man is supposed to be like, well, we need better art. It's like, better art already exists and you don't even fucking watch it. So shut the fuck up, you know? Like, I mean, really, honestly. You guys were shilling a fucking Yui Bowl film a month ago, dog. A fucking Yui Bowl film. Because it's fucking based. They killed the Muslims. It's fucking based. You know what I mean? Like, it is insane to me that these people have a right to speak. This is why I am not pro free speech. Like, we've seen the movies, like, it's crazy that anybody from the Daily Wire would ever have, they have the right to speak about film ever. We've seen what you guys make, dog. And it is just dog shit. Okay? It is just dog shit. It's like you should be arrested for making these movies. You should be arrested for making, what was it? The Pendragon Saga or whatever the fuck that was? Oh, man. Oh, that was bad. That was, well, you know, that was really, really, you guys really topped yourself with that one. You know, I don't think you have to be an expert to like offer criticism or whatever. That's fine, dude. But again, the point of the criticism is that like, well, we need better art. It's like, well, okay, how many Hitchcock films have you watched? You know, like if you're mad that like there's no good art being made anymore, how many independent films have you watched? Like they make good stuff. It just maybe doesn't get like big mainstream commercial success. Like there's some really good stuff. There was a really good movie I watched a year or two ago. What was it called? I just watched it on a whim. Censor. It's like a horror movie. It's about this girl and she works for, and it's like the 80s. It was really good. She's like works at the censor bureau, and then like her sister was like killed or kidnapped or something a while back, and then she sees her sister in one of the movies she has to review for the censor board, and it's like a really good little mystery horror thriller. Great movie. Didn't get a whole lot of traction. I haven't heard anybody else talk about it. I just kind of, I don't know how I discovered it. I think it was on a streaming service. Like, that sounds interesting. Put it on. You know, there's tons of great movies that get made today. Like, you know, nobody watches them, and that's fine. I get it. It's like hard, you know, but it's like, don't complain. Just don't complain. You don't really have any right to complain when I think they should make better art. It's like they do, and you don't watch it because you've never heard of it. You know, I feel like instead of offering the criticism of like they don't make good art anymore, you would at first look to see if they'd still make good art. You know, you should instead of like your instant knee jerk reaction is to bitch and complain about something, maybe check and see if it's an actual problem first. You know what I mean? Just a thought. Like I'm really excited to go see this new like Kurosawa film that's getting released. You know what I mean? I'm really excited. I've heard really good things about it. And it's a new movie that I'm gonna go watch. It's awesome. What's this? Diginite, the guy. Are you gonna leave again when I bring up the fact that I owned you theologically? Do you want to do that? Do you want to go ahead and get it out of the way now? Like I'm never gonna forget that. That was so funny. I bet you don't know the Our Father. You don't know the Lord's Prayer, and I nail it. Reddit's and Redditly, we can't criticize new things that are objectively worse than mainstream movies from 20 years ago because some gay indies exist. Wow, Kurosawa still making movies? No, different Kurosawa. What's his name? Kobayashi Kurosawa? Not Akira Kurosawa. Different guy. Kurosawa is a pretty common last name in Japan, apparently. We can't criticize new things that are objectively worse than mainstream movies from 20 years ago because some gay indies exist. Is that your... I mean, really, honestly, I mean, I guess that would be your takeaway from that, right? Like, you really just don't, like, have, like, comprehension at all. Like, like, I say things and, like, you just don't understand them. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with, like, complaining or criticizing things. That's fine. But, again, what's the point of you have to examine it, though. Like, I mean, like, what's the point of the criticism, really? Like, what's Matt Walsh trying to say? Because he's not a movie reviewer, right? Like, this isn't his profession or his job. So, clearly, you have to examine this in the context of he is a political commentator and he's criticizing the Spider-Man movie. So there's clearly going to be like a political angle to the criticism or a political context to the criticism. So what would the political context of that be? It would be that, oh, well, they just don't make good art anymore because everything sucks because of like diversity or whatever, right? And that was the point of like the criticism of the Odyssey too. You know, whenever you know what I mean? You're taking art and entering it. You're taking art that's like clearly non-political and then trying to bring it into the political realm. So there has to be some sort of intent behind it, right? And maybe I'm inferring some intent, but I think my inferment is pretty accurate. You know, I think my assumption is pretty accurate here. That the point is you're trying to say largely is that no good art gets made anymore, but you haven't even bothered to do the research to see if that's true. You could say maybe, oh, they don't make any good mainstream movies anymore, like big Hollywood budgets. It's like, that's pretty much been the case for like 20 years, though, really. You know what I mean? This isn't like a new problem. This has been the case for a long time. And even in the 90s, they made absolute slop. That's always going to be the case. They're always going to make mass-marketed slop for everybody to enjoy, for dumb people to enjoy. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that the film's bad or good. I haven't seen it. I don't know. I'm not trying to defend Spider-Man. I don't know. I don't really have any opinion on it one way or another. I don't care. It's not for me. But what I am saying is conservatives will see something that is very popular and then they just want to like instinctually join the losing team on it. Everybody seems to like this movie. Everyone liked the Odyssey. And so it's just like it's a very dumb political strategy, I think, also, to like instantly side yourself with the unpopular opinion that no one is going to agree with. You know, I just don't see that as being very politically efficient to win people over. I'm going to bitch about the thing that's popular. You know, that's what I'm trying to say. If good films were popular, they wouldn't be good. That's not true. I think Longlegs was a really popular movie, and that was really good. I really liked Longlegs a lot. It wasn't the best thing I've ever seen by any means, but I really enjoyed it. I like a good thriller like that. Weapons was really popular, and I really enjoyed that. So I think there's I haven't seen Obsessions or Backrooms, but those were both pretty popular, and I would imagine they're both pretty good. You know. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think there is good stuff that gets made. Maybe you have to look for it. Maybe you don't. Maybe it's few and far between, but, like, it does happen. And maybe you can just enjoy things sometimes. It's okay. We don't have to live in the conservative world of, like, everything sucks and I'm miserable and I want to kill myself, you know? Like, actually, life's pretty good. You know, that's my message. Actually, life's pretty good. And also, you're not relegated to watching new movies. You can go watch old movies too. There's a lot of really good old movies that you've never seen, a lot of great foreign films that you've never seen. And you can enjoy those too. And it's just fine. It's just fine. You know, we don't have to constantly look for reasons to be mad on the internet. You know, we can be mad on the internet. I'm not saying we don't get to be mad on the internet. I love being mad on the internet. It's great. It's fun. Like I said, I love to bitch and complain. But if you're going to do it, don't seethe. Be funny. You know, I think that's the other thing. It's also okay to enjoy bad movies. It is. It totally is, man. Totally agree. I love a good bad movie. I just don't get it. I don't understand this constant need to complain all the time about, and again, like, what exactly is this doing for you? Other than just making you look like a bitter loser, you know? I don't know. Anyways, let's continue to watch the review.
It would appear, sadly, that the
I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna take a leak. I'm sorry. I've been getting up a lot.
reports
Diginite's like still going off. You are a low IQ Zoomer. Dude, you are dumb, Diginite. I'm sorry. You're like a dumb and bitter chud. And I love it when you come into my chat. Like, the only reason I haven't been... Dude, you're literally just, like, ranting. You know? Like, look, he literally just Googled... Like, it's so funny how retarded this guy is, because he just Googled like what movies came out in 95, which was 35 years ago, or no, 31 years ago. I'm sorry, 31 years, or no, yeah, 31 years ago. I was 7 when these movies came out, by the way. Like, you kind of proved my point that this isn't like a new problem. Bro said Indian in the Cupboard is like, that's a really good movie, by the way. Like, some of these, you looked at mid 90s, like some of these movies are just like Mortal Kombat, Waterworld is dog shit, dude. Like, half these movies are like actual dog shit. Heavyweights. Bro said Clueless, I think. Crimson Tide. Goldeneye was a banger. Babe. You know what I mean? Like, I would say out of that whole list, maybe 5 of those movies are actually good. You know? Waterworld, Ulysses cut is genuinely great. You are a Redditor. Bro's willing to die on the hill that Waterworld, which was a commercial and critical bomb, is actually a good movie, because I didn't watch the super secret cut that somebody put together on the internet, I guess. Yeah. Ah, yes, the critically acclaimed Waterworld. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. You have fun with that. No, I'm glad you enjoy it, man. Honestly. Have fun with that. I'm going to hit play this. I'm going to go take a leak.
of the death of the superhero genre were premature, a case of wishful thinking. At least they were wishful thinking if you heard those reports on normally reliable podcasts, such as, I don't know, the Matt Walsh Show. Now, this latest film in the is the 4th in the Tom Holland series of Spider-Man films. The first 3 in that series, and I did Google this, were called Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man Far From Home, and Spider-Man No Way Home. This latest iteration is Spider-Man Brand New Day. Now, if you're wondering what makes this movie brand new, the answer is not much, except that it's the first Tom Holland Spider-Man film to not have the word home in it. That marks the first, and as it turns out, only creative risk this movie will make. Now, it's important that you don't confuse these 4 Spider-Man films with the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man series or the Tobey Maguire.
I like that he's saying, hang on real quick. First off, I love that he started this off by saying that, like, Yeah, I said superhero movies were done, and then I was wrong. You know? So that's good. I mean, way to take the L. You know, I like a little self-deprecating humor. We'll take that. Um, he's like, this is the only creative risk that this movie made. Yeah, I'm not sure. Well, I'm not sure what world you live in where they spend 300. You know, when you spend, I mean, again, like this is what I'm talking about. You're spending $300 million on a movie. Yeah, as it turns out, studios aren't willing to take commercial risks or creative risks. They don't. They've never done that ever. As it's like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, that's what you were expecting, creative risks from a movie that was probably focus tested to hell. But like, name seriously, like name what one like multi-million-dollar budget movie that took like really big creative risks. Like right now, like in the past, like I'd say like 5 to 10 years. You know what I mean? You're not gonna get any. In this climate, absolutely not. Like here's the thing, dude. It's like we're just not in a time right now that really rewards that either, unfortunately. I'm just gonna talk about movies, I guess, the rest of the stream. Movie theaters are like fucking struggling. You know what I mean? Like this isn't like after COVID, like post COVID, like that killed all of that. You know? Because movie theaters are dying. They closed so many movie theaters during COVID, and it's a struggling business model, and everyone's kind of trying to figure out how to adapt and make money. Netflix moved in, streaming taking over. I mean, there's so many. They're not taking risks anymore. If they're going to spend 200, 300, 400, 500 million dollars on a movie, that even have the expectation that there's going to be creative risks is retarded. They're going to make a buy the books, buy the numbers. Audiences are going to like this, focus test it to hell movie, because they kind of have to. Like they don't have any other choice. And especially I guess with this. I mean, I don't keep up with the Marvel stuff too much, but again, a lot of people are saying like, oh, they've killed it, and I haven't been interested in it in a long time for obvious reasons. You know, I liked Infinity War. Actually, I thought it was pretty good. Endgame was okay, I guess. That was the last one I really saw. I kind of just stopped right there. I was like, I'm good on these now forever. You know what I mean? That's fine. That's okay. But they've been on the back foot. You know, they've put out some stinkers, right? So they really needed like a big home run to get people back. Especially, I mean, they're bringing back Robert. They're clearly desperate. They're bringing back fucking Robert Downey Jr. and Captain America and all that shit. So like they're clearly desperate to like get the momentum back. So yeah, they're not going to be taking any creative risks here. They maybe you can almost argue they kind of tried and nobody liked it. So now they're done with that and they're like, we're going to give the people what they want. You know? You can argue maybe they did try that. They were like, okay, I really don't know what they did. I know they did the Doctor Strange, they were doing like the multiverse stuff. So like maybe they did try that, and then people are like, oh, this sucks. So yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy that you're like upset that it's not creative enough for you. You're upset that a Spider-Man movie isn't creative enough for you. That's all right.
Spider-Man series before that.
Peter 1, Peter 2, Peter 2, Peter 3. Peter 3.
Every about 9.5 years, in accordance with the prophecies, Hollywood executives go out and recruit the blandest actor between the ages of 21 and 32 to become the next Spider-Man. And rather than...
That's kind of the point. He's like they say, bland. That's the point of Peter Parker. That's literally, he is your everyday boy. Is Matt Walsh now just discovering the concept of like self-insertion in the media? Like that's kind of the point, is that like it's like a superhero story to self-insert. Like that's the point of Spider-Man. It's that he's supposed to be somebody that it's like anybody. If you're like an 8-year-old, you could be like, wow, I could be Spider-Man, you know? That's adorable. That's adorable that he's like complaining about that. That's the point of all superheroes, dude. That's literally the point of all superheroes. It's like ordinary guy gets superpowers, becomes a superhero. And then kind of the interesting things in the story is sometimes the dichotomy between the dual lives of like ordinary guy versus I also have superpowers. It's like he's discovering the concept of that's been around since like 1920, you know? That's literally the point.
Building on the work of the previous Spider-Man, they tear the whole spider edifice down and start from scratch, telling the entire story over again from the beginning. The upshot is that the origin story
I'm with them on that. The origin story thing sucks, you know.
of Spider-Man has been told and told again and then told again. Jesus Christ only got 2 accounts of his origin story, the infancy narratives in Matthew and Luke. Spider-Man has had at least...
That's not even true. What are you talking about? There's been like a million movies about that. Like, what do you mean? That's just retarded.
At least 3 this century alone. Okay, that
like, that
seems
joke doesn't even
disproportionate
work.
if you ask me, which you didn't. Now, you might be wondering why I'm talking about any of this. My antipathy for superhero movies is well established. And yet today, speaking of things nobody asked for or wants, I'm going to offer my review of the latest Spider-Man film. And I'm going to review this film because I saw this film, and my suffering must mean something. As the old influencer mantra goes, if you can't at least get some content out of it, then what the hell's the point? Yes, I went and saw the new Spider-Man movie on opening night. I waded through the throngs of Spider-Man superfans, many of them wearing Spider-Man apparel or even full Spider-Man suits. These were grown adults, by the way. I had not felt so out of place somewhere since I went to the Women's March in 2022, but the latter was a scene for my documentary, What is a Woman? Which is a better movie, by the way. It was a sacrifice I had to make for the art. The trip to the movie theater last Friday was a sacrifice I made for love. Not love of Spider-Man, but love of my wife, who for some reason really wanted to see the new Spider-Man movie. Now, we've been married for 15 years.
Oh, brother. Oh my God. This is what it's about. This is what it's about, dude. Oh, dude. Oh. So here it is. His wife made him go, and he's like seething about it. That's what this is all about. This is even more pathetic than I ever could have imagined, to be honest with you. And also, like, you're just like a shitty husband too. Like, could you imagine? Like, really, honestly, I'm not trying to be like Mr. Like, seriously, could you imagine, like, your wife like begs you to go see a movie, and then you're just seething and mad the whole time, and she's like having a good time and enjoys it, and then you're like, yeah, this fucking movie sucks, and actually, I'm gonna go make a fucking review of this piece of shit fucking movie that you like. It's like, dude, you're so bitter that your wife. By the way, just for the record, I just want to point this out. Like, if I didn't want to go see a movie and somebody that I really loved wanted to go see it, I'd go see it with them. And I wouldn't bitch and complain. You know what I mean? Because it's called, like, courtesy and politeness. You know? FF9000, that is exactly it. It's like, and even if I didn't like the movie, I would just be like, wasn't my thing, but I'm glad you had a good time. And I had a good time sitting and watching the movie with you. That's how you do that as a normal human being. As a normal person and as a normal human being who isn't a bitter, miserable wife guy who has to take his wife to get to a movie so he can maybe possibly get laid once a week. That's the normal human response. It's like, it wasn't for me, but I'm glad you enjoyed it. You know, and so my fucking bitch wife made me go to this fucking gay movie, you know? It's like, you're just a like you're a chud. This is chud incarnate here. You're just miserable and you hate your life. That's really where we're at. What we've established here, Matt Walsh, is that this isn't really about Spider-Man, is it? This isn't about the movie at all. This is about you hate your situation that you're in. You hate the situation that you're in, and now you have to vent and take it out on somebody. That's embarrassing. That's like really honestly, like I feel almost bad for him in a weird way. Like I have some sympathy for him. You know, it's like he doesn't know how to like deal with his emotions. You know what I mean? Like really, that's where we're at. He doesn't know how to like deal or process his emotions of his resentment. And so now he has to like turn it into content and use this as like therapeutic outlet to like really let everybody know that he hates his fucking bitch wife or whatever, you know? I don't think she's a bitch. I'm not saying that, like, I'm not calling her a bitch. I'm saying that's what he's probably thinking about her, you know? Because, like, here's the thing, too. If you wanted to just do, like, a review of, like, here's the thing that really annoys me about all this, too, is, like, wasn't there, like, a Supergirl movie, like, a month ago? I feel like that would have been the home run, because everybody hated that movie. You know what I mean? I feel like that's, if you're gonna jump on the, like, I wanna do some lowbrow content and just shit on a superhero movie, that would have been the one to do. You know what I mean? Everybody hated it, and you could have gotten people probably on your side. You all could have, yeah, that was fucking dog shit. That sucked, you know? And instead, you go and try to shit on the one that everybody loves because you're a chud and you hate your wife. You know what I mean? All these trad couples take weird shots at each other, like Trent Horn and his wife, Matt Walsh, etc. Yeah.
Fuggerx just gifted 500 kicks on Kick.
Hey!
Thank you for the great streams.
Thank you, man.
I often play them live or in replays, to and from my fuck-ass work. Makes life a little easier. Keep it up, King.
Thank you, man. I'm glad to keep you busy for a little bit, man. I mean, honestly, that means a lot. That's really honestly why I do this, dude. It's like, I appreciate that, man. That really means a lot. I'm glad I bring a little joy. I really, honestly, that's my thing. I just want to bring a little joy to people's lives and be a fucking big clown to entertain people. I'm not saying that in derogatory. I mean that. I want to be a clown for you guys. I want to gesture for you guys. So anything I can do to help make your day a little bit easier, give you maybe a laugh or two. That's what I want to do because I love you guys, man. Really, and I love what I do. I'm very thankful to be in this position, and I'm a lucky guy. So thank you guys, and I appreciate the support. Obviously, not necessary, but helps me keep going, helps me keep doing it, and it really means a lot. It is so goofy to me. I am married, and this. My wife and I hate each other, but we joke about it. Stuff is so wild. All these trads. The trads are bitter. Like that's the thing. That's the thing too. It's like. You guys, I'm not trad. I don't believe in that shit. I think honestly, if women want to work, it's fine. I don't care. I'm in a position. Here's my thing, honestly, and you know, cancel me, whatever. I don't care. I want to be in a position financially, or if my wife wants to work, she can, and if she doesn't want to, she doesn't have to. You know, don't care. I think that's the healthy way to be. You know what I mean? I think that's the healthy mindset to have. You know what I'm saying? I don't really give a shit what she does, to be honest. If she's happy, that's all that matters. I don't care. You know, it's a partnership. I want her to be happy. I want to be happy. Right? What's weird to me about the trad stuff is I really do think that a lot of people that do it, like, it's like if you want to do that, that's fine. I don't hate it. I'm not against it. I'm not opposed to it. If you want to be a stay-at-home mom, that's awesome, dude. Good for you. Like, that's so great, and I feel so happy for you. But I think the thing is that women don't actually want to do that, but they do it because they think it's like an optimization thing. There's so much shit on the internet, and it's not just, this isn't like restricted simply to the trad thing. But it's like, they just view the trad thing as like, well, that's the most optimal way to live. So therefore, that's what I'm going to do, even though that's not really who you are or what you're about, you know? And so many people, I think on the right specifically, I think people on the left do it too in different ways. You know what I mean? They see things and they're like, oh, well, I want to optimize my happiness, and I think this is the path to happiness. So I'm going to do this like rigid way of life. And I'm going to live that way because that's what people on the internet say is going to make me the most happy. And the way that people on the left do it, they think, oh, well, having sex makes me happy, so I'm just going to go have sex with a ton of people all the time with reckless abandon. You know, it's like the two odds of the two heads of the the head and the tail of the snake, and they just kind of eat each other. You know what I mean? This is rage bait. Trads want women to work. Is that true, Fractal? I've not heard that. I've heard they have to be stay-at-home moms and everything. But you know what I mean? It's like these two polar opposites. When it actually, as it turns out, human beings are very complicated, and like there are certain generalities that may be true, but they're not going to apply to everybody. And maybe, just maybe, a lot of these people who think that the trad way of life is the ultimate way to live isn't really for them. And that's okay.
Lore0155 just
Hey!
gifted 1 subscription on Kick.
Thank you, Laura. Appreciate it, man. Thank you, man. Thank you. Punch Women got the sub. Love that. Love Punch Women. It's a crazy name. I love it. But thank you, Laura, for the gifted sub, man. I really appreciate it. Yes, that's what trads are supposed to believe, but it's all fucked now. I mean, I don't know. I'm not getting into the minutia of like, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm again speaking generally here, okay? I'm not getting into like the minutia of the fucking stay-at-home mom movement. I don't know anything about that shit, okay? But what I am saying is this: so many people, I think the trads and the left, I think both sides do this. I think everybody does this to a certain degree, where people are just trying to like so desperately optimize their life because they're unhappy, and that's fair. Like, I've been in places in my life where I'm like super unhappy. You know, I get it. And you want to look for like a prescription or a remedy to that. I get it. Totally. But the solution is not to listen to some other retard on the internet who doesn't really know what they're talking about that says, well, this is the most optimized way to live, or this is the most optimized way to live. And then you're so rigid in that pursuit that you don't really discover who you are or what you're about or what your likes are or what your passions are. That's not healthy. You know what I mean? There are certain things that are like just objectively true. Like, yeah, working out is going to get you in shape. That's science. And it will make you happier because you'll feel you'll feel better about yourself. That's totally true. You should do something. You know, you should be happy with yourself physically, because it'll improve your mood. And there's certain science to all that, right? So like working out, that's a good thing. Eating healthy, that's a good thing. You know, being clean and on time, those are good things. You should do that. But like when it comes to like your entire life course, I don't think that the trad thing is necessarily. It's like both sides are completely wrong. People that want to argue against the stay-at-home mom thing, I think you're crazy too. Like, if somebody wants to do that, let them do it. You know, as it turns out, people have different wants and desires from person to person, and I just don't think these like broad general. Like, again, I'm not like saying that there's anything wrong with it. Like, you could say like, yeah, a lot of people are really happy doing this or whatever, and blah blah blah. Sure, whatever. But I just think people are so desperate to try to fit themselves into those boxes that they sort of make themselves miserable, and then they like lie to themselves. You know what I mean? They're like, well, this is the most optimal way to live, so I should be happy. So, and that's where I think a lot of this like resentment comes in between like the Matt Walsh types. You know what I mean? That's what I think, genuinely. I think that's where a lot of like the resentment comes in, is because they've entered into the optimal way to live according to them, but they're not really being fulfilled from it. And they're like, well, something's wrong. I'm just going to bury that. And I'm going to lie to myself because I'm doing all the right things. So this should be working, you know? That's sort of my my armchair psychologist sort of take on it. Just from, looking at it. You know what I mean? I think a lot of the resentment in marriages kind of results from that. On the right, specifically. It's like, I want to be trad, and I'm going to live the trad life. And then, like, it turns out you're not really like a trad guy. Like, I think it's just so important for anybody and everybody to have, like, a little self-awareness and just I don't know, recognize your limitations and recognize what you like and what you don't like, recognize your faults, recognize your strengths, and operate accordingly. It's not that hard, you know? That's the key to success. Just be honest with yourself.
I had no idea that she's been a Spider-Man fan this entire time. She has kept that part of her life hidden, locked away in the deep recesses of her heart.
Probably because you're like a fucking chud that would like bitch and complain about it. You know what I mean? Could you imagine? Like, it's probably because you're a fucking chud and you're like, fucking Spider-Man fucking sucks. I fucking hate Spider-Man. She probably want to listen to you bitch and complain about it. Like, that's probably what it was. She's like, this is why something. This is like, I really like this, and I know you're gonna make fun of it, so I'm not gonna tell you. Which is like, it's kind of shame. It's kind of like, I'd be ashamed if I was Matt Walsh. Like, you really felt like you had to hide this from me because I was gonna make fun of you. You know what I mean? Because you don't like anything. That's the thing. You don't like anything.
And I wish it had stayed there. But last week, her Spider-Man fandom came floating.
Admitting that your wife hides things that she likes from you is crazy. Yeah. That is crazy. You know, like, that's really, honestly, like, if that happened to me, like, man, why didn't you feel like you could share that with me? You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. But again, I would probably hide that too from her. If I was her, I'd probably hide a lot of things. I'd hide an affair. That's what I would hide. I would hide an affair, dog. Like, get out, you know? You can do better. She can do better. I don't know who she is. I don't know what she looks like, and I don't want to, but I'm just saying, if you see this Matt Walsh's wife, you can do better. I can assure you. Get you a man who supports you. Okay? Get you a man you don't have to hide these things from, you know?
Suddenly to the surface, like some kind of dying creature from the depths of the sea.
I kind of want to make a little snack too. I'm going to play this again. I know, I keep getting up. I'm so sorry. I'm like antsy today. I don't know. I'm thinking that because I have this headache, maybe if I eat something, it'll help. I'm going to just make a little chicken biscuit real quick. It won't take about a minute. It literally will take 1 minute. Support the stream, by the way. Power Channel Live Beardson. I'm just going to play this. I'm still listening to it, and I'll come back and react.
She requested out of nowhere that we spend our one precious date night of the week watching this movie.
No, hang on.
When she first
You just confirmed literally everything that we assumed about like married couples too. How boring is that? How fucking, dude, you are miserable, dog. You're only getting laid once a week. If that even. Our one fucking date night of the week, we had to go see fucking... This is the most pathetic thing I have ever heard in my... Man. Oh my gosh. I could not imagine being in a situation, like, having a wife who I have to have... Like, I have to force myself to go on a date with once a week. You know? That would be miserable. Like, I've never been that way. You know? Like, why would you want to live your life that way? Like, if you're... I'm not saying that, like... I'm saying, like, if you love somebody and you're going to spend the rest of your life with them, you shouldn't have to plan... You should just want to do these things. You know? And I understand sometimes, like, if you're married for a while, like, okay, maybe things are going to cool off, but you're still going to, like, want to be around this person. You shouldn't have to have fucking homework. Okay? It shouldn't be like a fucking chore. You know? And that's the way, my one fucking date night a week, and we didn't even get to go to the fucking cigar bar. We had to go see fucking Spider-Man, and now I'm gonna bitch about it for 30 fucking minutes. You know? Like, this is so... I feel, like, so bad for him and his wife, honestly. And I'm not trying to be, like... You know, I'm 38 and single, right? Like, I'm not married or anything. But I've been there. I've been in that arena. Never once did me and my ex-wife have, like, a fucking date night. Granted, we are divorced, so maybe not the best example. But, you know what I mean? Like, it just... We never had to do anything like that. It was just like, I want to spend time with you tonight. Are you doing anything? No, okay, let's go out and do something. And it's that. Could be a lot worse than an assigned date night. That's like that is you know what's funny too? It's like that is the death knell of marriage. Like that every time I hear about somebody getting divorced, it's like that's the steps that they always try to do to fix their marriage before they end up getting divorced, you know? When you have kids, you need to schedule it. Yeah, that's fair. I understand that. But like the one date night a week thing though is crazy. Also, I don't know, maybe you just bring your kids to go see the Spider-Man movie cuz it's a fucking Spider-Man movie, you know? You can also bring your kids out on like a date with you. You know what I mean? Like you can still have a romantic time with your children. People do it all the time. You know, I understand having like wanting to have like a one-on-one thing too. I get that, but like I don't know. Just scheduling it like once, like we're gonna do this once a week. Like I don't know. That's like the least romantic. That's like it's just so. It's like there's no. I think that's the thing. It's like you want to do a one-on. Maybe this is my take, and maybe this is a Chud take. I don't know, but hear me out. Okay, it's like the whole point of like having the one-on-one time is that it's supposed to be sort of romantic and you can bond. And I think when you like schedule it out like that, where it's an assigned homework assignment every week, you sort of remove any sort of romance from it. You know what I mean? It removes any sort of like, it's like, you know, romance is supposed to be like a little, I don't know, spontaneous. You're in the moment, a little impulsive, you know, like that's kind of the point. And when it's like homework, then it's not really, it kind of defeats the purpose, I think, you know? Just my thought. I don't know. Again, I'm not an expert on this stuff. What are your guys' thoughts? Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I being too harsh? And maybe I'm being too harsh. But it, again, factor in that with all, like him bitching about having to go see the movie and the resentment that he clearly, and his wife hiding the fact that she likes Spider-Man. It's building a picture for me in my head that like he's in like a loveless marriage and he hates himself, you know? And maybe I'm reading it too much into it. I don't know. But anyways, all right. I'm going to keep playing. I'm going to go make my food real quick.
Brought that up. I said, you want Spider-Man? Spider-Man is what you want to go watch. I objected, as you might imagine. I suggested that we do something else with our time. Go to dinner, throw ourselves into a volcano. Really anything would be preferable. But then she pointed out that I always pick the movies and she always watches what I want to watch. And I didn't admit this to her, and please don't tell her I said this, but she's right. I have probably picked 98% of the movies and shows that we've watched together through our entire marriage. I am the resident chooser of movies, the keymaster of movies in our household. I've always considered that to be a solemn responsibility, something I take very seriously. It is a burden that I carry for the good of our family. And most importantly, I never steer us wrong. The entertainment offerings I choose never disappoint. Now, my wife might disagree with that statement. Actually, I might disagree with it too. On second thought, there have been some unfortunate ones in there. Last year, we watched the Netflix movie Carry On at my suggestion. That's an action film about a TSA agent who gets blackmailed by Jason Bateman into smuggling a bomb onto a plane. It wasn't very good. In fact, it was probably one of the worst movies ever made. But how could I have possibly guessed that based on the description?
Okay, hang on.
Great.
I just want to say, by the way, this guy is like a premium. He's like an admitted slop enjoyer. Like, dude, imagine even thinking that movie was going to be good. You know what I mean? Like, imagine for a split second, you're like, oh, the new Jason Statham, honey, the new Netflix Jason Statham movie came out. We have to watch it. You have invalidated any opinion that you have about art after that. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Could you, honey, date night, the new Jason Statham, it's on Netflix. We gotta watch it. I mean, even you admitting that it's bad after you watched it, it's like you should have known before. You have no discernment in art and in culture, you know? And now he wants to sit here and bitch about, like, that's it's crazy that he's objecting. Dude, if you were to put both of those, I would watch Spider-Man 100 times before I would ever watch a fucking Netflix Jason Statham movie, okay? Like, in a heartbeat, I would rather watch Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Like, without question, I would rather watch Spider-Man than that. You know? So it's weird to me how you have this, like, weird resentment towards fucking Spider-Man of all things. And you're like, I'm not watching that. That fucking Marvel movie. Fuck. You'll spurg out about Spider-Man, but damn, honey, the new Netflix movie. Just even remove Jason Statham. Even the new Netflix movie dropped. You know. Could you imagine saying that? I have never once in my life ever been excited for a fucking Netflix movie, dog. You know? That's insane. That's insane. Fuck you. Like, honestly, I'm mad now. I'm like, actually, you know what? Fuck you, Matt Walsh. You're a fucking piece of shit, and I hope your wife leaves you, actually. Like, that's insane. Fuck you for that.
Right. Well, even though there are certain schools giving out worthless degrees in content creation or lesbian dance theory, that doesn't mean that there aren't degrees worth pursuing or subjects worth studying. Subjects like classical literature, where great works that stand the test of time are studied. Stories like the Iliad or the Odyssey, not because they're old, but because they still have something true to say. It's one reason
Oh, is he
I
showing like a
appreciate what
scam
Hillsdale
college
College
now?
is doing. They're offering a free online course on the Odyssey taught by Professor Benedict Whalen.
Yeah, join this scam college where you get no accreditation and you won't be able to get it. Dude, isn't it funny, by the way, that conservatives do this? Isn't it funny that, like, conservatives are like, yeah, you shouldn't go get a useless liberal arts degree. You should instead get a useless classical literature degree and use code Walsh. Like, dude, these people, like, I mean, I'm like being genuine when I say this. They should be arrested and locked up. It's crazy. You know what I mean? It's like, you literally in this sentence were like, yeah, I guess you could go get a useless degree like lesbian scissoring. Dude, or a useless degree in content creation. But instead, you should read you should pay us $5,000 to read the fucking Odyssey and use code Walsh and it'd only be $4,500. You know? How about you could just read the fucking book for free? A degree in content creation would be actually far more useful than going to fucking Hillsdale College so you could read the fucking Iliad. Dog, I read the Iliad in high school. How retarded are these people? It's just crazy. It's crazy. Like, college is fucking useless, except for the useless colleges that we make money from. Fuck you. You're scum. You people are scum. You people are absolute scum, and you deserve every bad thing that's ever happened to you. And I cannot believe that these people get away with it every day. I can't.
He walks through Homer's masterpiece, explains why it's remained one of the foundational works of Western civilization. It's about a man trying to get home. It's about duty, family, loyalty, the temptation to choose an easier life over a meaningful one. 3,000 years later, the importance of those values has not gone away. If anything, they've become even more relevant. If you've always wanted to read great literature, or better yet, understand it, well, this is a great place to start. Go to...
Bro, oh my gosh. They're literally wanting you to pay like $5,000 to read the fucking Odyssey. You can literally read it for free online. Hang on. I want to see something. I want to see actually how much it costs. Hillsdale. So they have free online courses. I want to know how much it costs. I want to know how much this shit costs to, like, go through this. Okay. Wait, you go. Hill. I'm gonna do this. Hillsdale.edu/Walsh. Start for free today. Okay. I want to know. Enroll in the okay. Put your email address in. Okay. Enroll. Well, fuck it. Why not? I'm gonna do that. I'm so curious. Where does the part like your free trial's up? Okay, I'm enrolled. So when do I have to pay? That's what I want to know. Okay, withdrawal. No, hang on. When do I have to pay? Okay. I really want to know how much this costs. Okay, they take donations. By the way, 6 hours is what they expect. You're not even reading the book. They just show you videos. So you don't even really get to read the book, which is crazy. Is this all just free? I'd be actually shocked if this is all free. There's no way this is free. With the Walsh code, you can get it even more free.
Hillsdale.edu/Walsh to enroll. It's totally free. Start reading, learn the classics, rediscover the West. Start right now at hillsdale.edu/Walsh. Anyway, on our way into the theater, I warned my wife that we would be the only adults without children in the room. This is Spider-Man, after all. It's going to be a bunch of 13-year-old boys and us. My wife bet the opposite. She said the opposite would be the case. She said it'd be nothing but adults. And she was right about that, too, it turns out. We walked into our screening room to find an auditorium packed with childless 30 and 40-somethings.
Typically, people don't bring their 8-year-old and 10-year-old kids to a 9 o'clock showing of a movie. You know what I mean?
I felt relieved. And then I felt sad. And then I felt nauseated. And then I felt sad again. But then I felt relieved again, because there's nothing quite like the comfort of discovering that other people are as big of losers as you are. Now, as for the film itself, I am heartbroken, though very far from surprised to report that it was extremely terrible. This is a very bad movie, even worse than I expected. And I expected it to have all the artistic depth and merit of a cell phone commercial. Actually,
what pisses me off about this is you can tell he's lying, too. You know what I mean? And look, I get it. Play the bet up. We're entertainers here. Play the bet up. But you don't mean that. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that he liked the movie. He was like, it was okay. But he's like, well, I got to really exaggerate how bad it is, because I fucking, this will really make some good content if I bitch and complain.
Actually, this movie is a cell phone commercial. I have never in my life seen so much product placement. It is shocking. This was the QVC of movies. They might as well put a 1-800 number up on the screen. Spider-Man has a Samsung Galaxy phone.
Okay, that's kind of crazy. That is kind of crazy. Oh, look!
Which is heavily featured in this movie. Spider-Man's Samsung Galaxy phone gets more close-up shots than Spider-Man himself. Like, it should be listed as a cast member on the IMDb.
That is kind of crazy. Yo, Lore! Thank you.
Lore0155 just gifted 1 subscription on Kick.
We love Lore. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Be like Lore. Support the stream. Power Channel loves Beardson Beardly. Sub if you're not subbed already. And if you already subbed, give some subs to some friends. We love it. Thank you, Laura. The GOAT. Dude. Here's the thing. It's kind of, I mean, I agree. Like, product placement, especially in movies, is really bad. But it's also like, didn't you just have some product placement in your video like 5 seconds ago? Like, you literally just read an ad. You know, I don't know. Again, I've seen a Daily Wire video too. You guys do, man. How many fucking razor blades have you shilled? You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know if you're really in a position to say that.
DB page. You might be asking, how could you possibly get Spider-Man's cell phone into the movie? Well, they get it in there a lot. They engineer a thin excuse for all of these gratuitous full frontal cell phone.
Yo!
Candace Owen's sister just gifted 10 subscriptions on Kick.
Yo! Thank you. Thank you so much. Candace Owen's sister for the 10 subs. That's incredible. What a legend. Big shout out. Love Candace Owen's sister. What a legend. What a legend. And we salute. Is he modded? He better be modded. I think he is. I think he's modded, right? If he's not modded, yeah, he's modded. Absolutely, should be. Incredible. Legend. Thank you. Thank you. 07's Patriot. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
In the film, Spider-Man is apparently subscribed to some kind of app that alerts him whenever a crime is happening in New York City. Okay? The app pings Spider-Man, which, like, this is way less cool than the bat signal. Okay, first of all, you got the bat signal. That's cool. Not very practical, but at least that's cool, right? The big light in the sky.
Nice.
Now we're doing an app, and anytime there's a crime, Spider-Man gets a little, like, it goes ping, and he just looks at it.
Okay. What's even the problem with that? Okay, like, how else is he supposed to... Like, if I was a superhero, I would do that too. Welcome, bro. Service, isn't that what you're trying to eat? No. Please, donate away. Now is the time to donate, because I am eating. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, like, I don't understand what this, like... This is, like, chuddy ass. Like, you know what I mean? This is how you know, like, he's not a real, like, film critic and doesn't know anything. Because he has to... I hate when people do this. I just don't think that's very realistic. It's a movie about a guy who has Spider-Man powers. Okay? It's just not very cool. I needed that. I wish it was a little different. Oh, okay. Well... I guess he's just supposed to, like, wander around the city. That would be much more interesting on, like, visually on the film. Instead of him having, like, cool tech and all this, he should just wander around for a while, and then eventually he runs into a guy that is mugging an old lady or something. Yeah.
And it literally says, crime is happening. That's what it said. No other information. It doesn't even tell you where it's happening. Just crime detected. So the app pings.
It's literally a map, you fucking... We saw it.
1K sent $5 Beard AI. What's the statistical probability of Hassan Piker being white?
Hang on. Thinking. Still thinking. Analyzing. Hi, yeah. I see here that you're asking about the statistical likelihood of Hassan Piker being white, and, well, I'm adding it up, and the numbers aren't great. 0.0% chance that Hassan Piker is white. Thank you for asking. Thank you. Appreciate that. Hope you're having a great day, and if you have any more questions, please let me know. We can keep things loose, or maybe get a little crazy with it. Just let me know what you're ready to get into.
Spider-Man 4 or 5 times throughout.
By the way, I love that his criticism. It's like the app doesn't even tell him, like, that there's... He just says crime is happening. It's like, dog, we saw the app. It's clearly like a map, and it's got, like, things on it. There's, like... Yeah, I saw somebody in the chat say there's literally like crime checker apps. You know, they have police scanners. You ever heard of what is even this criticism? You know what I mean? Like it's the dumbest thing. This isn't very fucking realistic in my fucking superhero movie.
The story, which is an absurdly excessive number of cuts to a cell phone, but it's also an absurdly low number of crimes to have happen in New York City. Because the other problem here is that if such an app existed in real life, it would be going off literally 300 times a day, which is
This isn't very fucking realistic. It's a fucking movie, dog. It is a fucking movie. First off. In real life, Spider-Man wouldn't be able to stop all the crime, actually, because there's so much. Dog, you should never watch a movie ever again. Like, ever again. You should never watch a movie. You should stick to, like, Hogan's Heroes, actually.
the actual average for felony crimes in the city. But this Spider-Man movie is not just a long commercial for Samsung. Emphasis on long, by the way. This thing is like 2.5 hours long. There is no reason on God's green earth for a flick about a guy with spider powers running around in red spandex to be more than 90 minutes at the most.
He's cooking here. I credit where credit's due. Bro is cooking here, actually. I'm with him on that. Movies are way too long. If you don't, I'm not opposed to seeing a long movie by any means. Like the Odyssey's length, that was fine. You had a lot of story. Okay? I'm with him. A Spider-Man movie, a good in and out 90 minutes, I think. You know? It feels so nice watching a 90-minute movie. You just have no idea. It's like, thank you. Thank you, Lord, for allowing the editor to hack so much away from this movie. You know what I mean? We have got Lord of the Rings was maybe the worst thing that ever happened in the film industry. It really was, because every movie used to be 90 minutes, and then Lord of the Rings came out, and everyone's like, oh, we could do 3-hour movies, and they just drag half the time, you know? I'm with them on that. Like, I'll give you like, if you do, like, if it's, like, the last one, you can wrap it all up. Like, what was it? The Avengers Infinity War. That one being, like, 2.5 hours, I'm okay with that. You got a lot of ground to cover. You're trying to wrap things up, you know? It's like the season finale or series finale or whatever. You know, that's fine. But I can't even, no, he's cooking here. Matt Walsh is cooking here. I'm with him on this. 90-minute movies. I'll take even 145, hour 45 minutes. I'm fine with that.
I mean, really 85 minutes and we should be out. But for some reason, it was decided 10 years ago that every theatrically released movie, especially if it features a guy in spandex running around, has to be as long as Schindler's List. Mm-hmm. So the days of short and efficient blockbusters are over for some reason.
I'm with him on this. He's cooking.
But anyway, they take advantage of this gargantuan runtime by squeezing in commercials for, I'm not making this up either, Little Caesars Pizza and BMW and PlayStation and Liquid IV and countless other products. Apparently, this movie set a record with a $309 million partner campaign, which is to say that Sony hoarded this movie out to literally any company that would throw some money at it. Now, you'd think a multi-billion-dollar film franchise would have higher standards, but I guess money can't buy self-esteem, as every OnlyFans star inevitably learns. At one point, we randomly cut to a Little Caesars delivery guy.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure Sophie Rain has... it's a self-esteem thing. That's what it is. I think people have every wrong take about everything. Yes, women join OnlyFans because they have self-esteem issues. No, I think they join OnlyFans because they want to make fucking money. I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is. Now they lie and they'll be like, "No, it's actually I really enjoy doing it or whatever." It's like you like it because of the money. Okay. Now you might get self-esteem issues if you're like not that great looking and nobody subscribes, maybe. But like, what a dog shit take. He won't just say no. I think it's because it's an easy way to make money. It's a moral I think it's a moral blind spot that we have in society because of hypercapitalism. And God forbid we ever criticize capitalism in any way, right?
Dropping off a Little Caesars pizza. That's a scene in the movie. And then we see Peter Parker going to retrieve the Little Caesars pizza from his front door. None of this serves the plot in.
By the way, I just want to point out though, product placement in big block, it's not new. It's never been new. I remember, what was it? Like the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies, they had dominoes in the movie. You know what I mean? This isn't like a new phenomenon. You know what I mean? Like, this has been a practice going way beyond. Now, granted, maybe they did a lot in this movie. I don't know. I don't have any, like I said, I haven't seen this movie. I don't know. But
any way at all. Never mind the fact that Peter Parker lives in New York City. He can web his way to any New York pizzeria in minutes, and he's ordering Little Caesars?
That's not freaking realistic, actually. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. See, here's the thing with like certain product placement where it kind of makes sense. I'm okay with that. Like, yeah, Peter Parker, like, pizza's integral to the plot or whatever. Like, why not be like, hey, let's get Little Caesars to pay us money to do that? That makes sense. I'm fine with that. I don't care. Like, who gives a shit? And if anything, sometimes even I would even argue that doing, like, if you do tasteful product placement, something like that, it sort of makes the movie feel more real and grounded as well. It's like it's a part of the real world, right? So it can be done. This is like, I'm not, this is like a lame criticism. The phone thing was crazy. I'll say that the phone thing was really crazy. I'll give him points there. But yeah, complaining about there's Little Caesars pizza. So is your point, so far we're like almost halfway through this, and all he's really complained about so far is that there's product placement in the movie and that it's not realistic. Okay. Good, very good.
It's like having a scene in The Godfather where Vito Corleone orders Olive Garden to go with a close-up shot of the Olive Garden logo on the bag. And then he hops online to leave a 5-star Yelp review with a...
It's a terrible analogy. What are you even talking about?
A close-up of the Yelp...
You're comparing... First off, Matt Walsh, I just want to point out, you're comparing Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man flick, to The Godfather. All right? This is like the worst analogy of all time. And you're a fucking idiot. You are a fucking moron. This is like you know what I mean? This is not even close to comparable. This is slop for people to be entertained by, and that's okay. It's okay to be entertained by slop.
Logo. But see, that would never happen in The Godfather because, for one thing, Yelp and Olive Garden didn't exist when that film was made. But for another, The Godfather is a film. It is a real film. It is a piece of art. A Marvel film is not a film so much as a...
They've never tried to be. Like, that's the thing. It's entertainment. Like, you're mad at Spider-Man for what it isn't instead of for what it is, you know? And this is like the worst kind of criticism on the planet. You're mad that, like, fucking Robert Eggers didn't direct Spider-Man? You know, that's not the intention. That's not what they're going for. They're going so you can just go to have a good time at the movie theater for 2 hours, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Series of advertisements vaguely stitched together to resemble the general shape of something that may be mistaken for a film. Now, this could perhaps be forgiven if the story surrounding the commercials was compelling, or at least diverting and entertaining enough that I wouldn't spend the majority of the runtime praying for a fatal heart attack. Suffice it to say, on my way in the door, I had set the bar.
You want a good story out of a Spider-Man movie. Again, like, what are we doing here?
Are very low. Okay, I had set the bar for this movie at about the level of the Titanic. And I don't mean the movie The Titanic, I mean the actual Titanic, 12,000 feet below sea level. Spider-Man Brand New Day wouldn't have to swing on a web or jump or even pick up its legs to make it over the bar that I had set. Yet somehow it managed to navigate itself below the bar in some kind of grotesque act of circus sideshow contortionism. Now, allow me to attempt to describe the plot, which is a very generous term, as best I can.
Dude, can I say something? I'm so tired of chuds complaining about like plots in general or stories. Like I know, and this is going to apply to some of you guys too. And I'm sorry. It's like I hate when people do this. I hate because it's just not a good. I'm sorry, it's just not a good criticism. You're like the plot is bad. I really hate that criticism. So it's like so lazy. It's the equivalent of just saying a movie is boring. You know, the plot is bad. That is like the most subjective, and like you're better off saying nothing. Actually, you know. You really are like honestly, if you're like criticism of a movie, is like I think the plot freaking sucks. Like, okay, well, that doesn't really tell me anything, you know? Like, did you what about it is bad? Also, like, is that your only? Do you like? I hate when people do this. Somebody, I mean, I don't know. Again, I'm shutting out a little bit, but it's like I'm not saying that plot isn't important in a movie. Not at all. Not at all what I'm saying. Okay? It is important. I think having a good plot is a big plus in a movie, right? But if all you're there for is to be told a story, then go read a fucking book. This is a visual medium. Which means that the visuals are important, the audio is important, the acting and the performances are important, the pacing is important. All of these things are just as important as the plot. But for some reason, people put the plot on like this golden pedestal to where if the plot is bad or they didn't understand it, then the rest of it's absolute garbage and should be thrown away. It's like you're missing the entire point of the movie. If you want to be told a story, go read a fucking book. You know? You're a child. You're a toddler who wants to lay in bed and have mommy read him a bedtime story. You know? Like, at what point does the plot become an issue for you? If it's, like, distracting. And again, it's like, there are some atrocious plots. I'm not arguing otherwise. Like, there's some atrocious movies with atrocious plots. And there are also incredible movies with mediocre or even bad plots. You know what I mean? John Wick. The plot of John Wick is fucking terrible. The first one. I'm talking about the first one solely. The plot is dumb. Bare bones, thin, kind of stupid, right? Really. Let's go over the plot of John Wick real quick, right? Guy was like a gangster and his wife died and he stopped being a gangster and this random guy killed his dog and then he goes and kills everybody to get revenge of his dead wife's dog, you know, and then he does it and then the movie ends. That's the plot of John Wick. John Wick is an incredible movie though. I mean, like, let's be real. Like, it's that first John Wick movie. Oh, that slapped so hard though. You know what I mean? It slapped so hard. It was so good. I love the first John Wick movie. Second and third and the fourth, they're okay. They're fine. But that first one, Kino. Visual Kino, choreography, the soundtrack, the act, everything about it I thought was really, really well done for an action movie. Which, by the way, Spider-Man is also an action movie, right? So it's like, I don't really care too much about the plot. Plot's fine. I hope it's good. If it's not, you know. But prime example of why direction matters way more than writing and visual medium. Exactly it. dude. People are, the writing is the bad in the Odyssey. I didn't like the writing. Okay, I mean, go read the fucking book then. I don't know what to tell you. Like, again, it's a visual medium. You should enjoy the visual aspect of it. That's the point. I mean, the writing should be good. I'm not saying it shouldn't be, but it's like that is like people that is the hill that people will die on. Like they will. I like the writing in this movie, therefore it's all bad. It's like, well, you're dumb. You're a dumb person. Then I'm sorry. Like you're missing everything else that's good about it because like you want to be told a story because you're a child. You want to be told a story because you're a child because you're a toddler. I want to hear a good story about Spider-Man and he saves the day. It's like I don't know what to tell you. Just stop watching movies then. You know what I mean? I don't mean that to be insulting. It's just this isn't what you're looking for. It's not, sorry.
There will be spoilers going forward, but then again, if you've ever seen a single superhero movie in your life, you already know everything that will happen. This movie does attempt to surprise you at a few different points, but it's kind of like my 3-year-old playing hide and seek by huddling behind the curtain with his legs and arms and half his head still visible. So it starts with Spider-Man swinging around New York fighting bad guys. And this is all handled by the way of montage. We see him fighting evil ninjas for 5 seconds, and then he fights the villain Scorpion, so-called because he wears a mechanical suit that resembles a scorpion, which, by the way, is a really impractical setup for committing crimes.
Yeah, I'm not sure you know this. This is a movie called Spider-Man, for the record. I'm not a fan of any of this stuff, but I'm just saying, like, I'm not really like that upset that again it's not really realistic that the Scorpion would it have been better if he was a human Scorpion, would have made it better, I guess, maybe if he was just like a Scorpion man.
What crime would in what scenario would you be assisted in committing a crime by putting on a giant suit that looks like a scorpion?
I don't know. You could probably kill anybody. He looks like he's pretty tough, and I do feel like being tough and dangerous is kind of a prerequisite to committing crime. And maybe the guy just likes scorpions.
Someone answer me that. And then we see him locked in combat.
Somebody answer me. Why is this? It's New York. Did you know, chat? Did you know this? That the Scorpion doesn't even reside in New York City. What is a Scorpion doing in New York City? They should be in Arizona in like the desert. If this movie took place in the desert, that would make sense. But there's not even scorpions in New York City, so that's just wrong, actually. Dude, you suck as a human being. Like it's so forced. That's what I think I hate about this. It's like you can tell it's so forced. Like all of his criticism is so forced. He just doesn't want to like the movie. He wants to be the guy, the crotchety old man that complains. That's his like bit. This is the bit, is that he just wants to be a whiny, complaining, crotchety old man. But instead you sound like a fucking idiot and a whiny bitch. You know what I mean? Like all of his criticism it's so forced. You know what I mean? Scorpion's not even realistic, actually. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's so forced, dude. It's like, I don't know, dog. Go watch fucking Pearl Harbor and shut the fuck up.
With a sharp tooth bad guy. Sharp tooth guy tries to throw Spider-Man off a roof because obviously that's going to be an effective way to kill a mutant who shoots webs out of his hands and sticks to walls. What are you going to do next? Drown Aquaman? Now, plausibility issues aside, all of the crime fighting we montage our way through is more entertaining and would have made for a much better movie than the story they eventually settle on. Another fact established early on is that Peter Parker's chubby Asian friend, I didn't catch his name, and his ex-girlfriend MJ have both suffered some kind of amnesia and no longer remember Peter Parker. Apparently the entire world forgot about Peter Parker. And this is due to some kind of magical spell or whatever from the previous movie, which I believe I watched with my kids, but I don't remember anything about it. Maybe that's meant to be like a kind of a fascinating meta commentary. Like the movie where everybody forgot about Peter Parker is also itself extremely forgettable. That's kind of was that an artistic choice? Maybe. But the precise in-universe reason for this amnesia isn't.
Man, Matt, you're just so cool and above it all, Chat, I wish, honestly, I'm watching this. I'm just like, man, I wish I could be as cool as this guy. You know what I mean? He's just so cool, and like above it all, he doesn't like anything. He just like complains about stuff. Like, you know, he's too cool for fucking Spider-Man. Gosh, I wish I was that cool. You know, I wish I lived like a bitter, miserable life where I like bitch about my wife on the internet and like I just hate everything. And it just seems so cool, doesn't it? It's like really cool to do that. Like I'm just like I'm so far beyond this plebeian Spider-Man movie. You know, I like real stuff, like Jason Statham movies on Netflix. You know, um, that's what I like. Those are way cooler because they're like macho and they're like manly, like me. Like, do you see my beard? I'm a very macho and manly guy, and I only like action movies that are like tough and macho, like the Expendables. You know, it's like fucking they kill people. Fuck yeah, with like guns and shit. It's like fuck yeah, that plot's good. The plot's real fucking good because they fucking men. You know. Gosh, I just want to light a cigar right now so I can be half as cool as Matt Walsh.
Really important. The real reason for the amnesia is that it allows the filmmakers to repeat the same beats from the first film in the series. That's the only reason they did this. So Peter Parker gets to meet the chubby Asian guy again, which he's already done. He gets to try to win MJ's heart again, which he's already done. They had to repeat all of these beats because the one thing that can...
Wait, man, I thought you forgot it. But Matt, what do you mean? I thought you forgot it because you're so above it all. So really, this should be brand new to you because you don't even remember because you're so fucking cool, dude. You're so fucking cool. How do you remember this? How do you remember the beats from the movie because you're so fucking cool, dude?
Never happen in a Marvel movie under any circumstance is character development. Character development requires change, and change suggests entropy. It suggests a finite temporal system where eventually things will reach a conclusion. Things will end, but there can be no conclusion. There can be no end, no point ever in a Marvel movie. They need to keep all the characters alive and the same so they can keep the franchise going. They can keep the Little Caesars commercials going.
I agree with that.
They can sell more toys and more Samsung Galaxy phones.
Congrats, you've finally discovered the true purpose of the Marvel movie after all this time. Yeah, no, I agree with that, though. I mean, that's why they are kind of boring, and I'm not really interested in them. Because he is right. I mean, that is the thing. It's like constantly on to the new thing. You can't really do a whole... It's sort of like a sitcom, almost in a sense, you know? Where it's like crazy things happen, but at the end of the sitcom episode... is like everything's back to normal at the end because it has to be. You have to go back to the base slate at the end, you know. It's like it's a sitcom loop, you know. And I do agree with that criticism for sure. That's literally Sam Hyde's criticism of comics from 2019. Yeah, I mean it's valid. It is valid. Like that is kind of the point of it. It's like they don't ever really change or grow because they have to be these characters, you know. But at the same time, I mean, and again, it's not my thing per se, but you could also, I mean, you could argue that's sort of a merit too. And I think that's why these Marvel movies resonate with so many people. It's like a comfort thing. You know what I mean? Because on one hand, it doesn't maybe make compelling art or cinema by any means. But that's not what these movies are set out to be. These movies are set out to be like something that you can kick back and watch for 2 hours, forget about your troubles, be entertained, and then walk out. You know, that's the point. These are comfort characters for people who just want to like kick back and relax. They don't want to use their brains that much, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, the Marvel movies are like the Friends of like the TV show Friends, like the TV show Friends of like the cinematic world. You know, there's a place for stuff like that. You know. It's your favorite song that you listen to over and over? Yeah, I mean, that's what it is, I think, for a lot of these people. That's my speculation, at least. It's like, you watch Spider-Man fight some bad guys for a little while, things are never really going to change, and at the end of the day, you know, he's going to live, you know? And then every now and again, they might change it up, you know? They might do a big thing, kill off Iron Man or something, you know? But a lot of people, they just want that comfort, you know? They just want to get away from their troubles for a little bit. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, that's the thing. Movies are art, but they are also entertainment, you know? And I think people forget that sometimes. Sometimes people get too focused on one or the other, and sometimes they can be both, I think. But uh you know, it's just not that serious. It's like these are not made to be art. They are made to be entertainment, and entertainment has its place too. And I don't really see why we have to like shut out about that. You know what I mean? I don't really get it. It's like I'm not a fan of these. I get a lot of the criticisms for sure, but I don't know. It just seems like a dumb thing to be mad at. Again, Matt Walsh is mad at the movie not for what it is, but for what it isn't. You know, that's really what it is. I just think it's like bad criticism.
So if any character appears to be on the precipice of developing or changing, well, they can just snap their fingers and abracadabra, amnesia. Or failing that, they can always bring in another version of that character from the infinite multiverse, which means that even if a character dies, it's still not over. Nothing has changed. Nothing mattered. There are a trillion other versions of that character in a trillion other universes. And
Yeah, congrats. Marvel found a way to print fucking money. I mean, like, that's really what I'm hearing.
and you might think, well, that means that there are no stakes in any of these movies. You might think that developing stakes for your characters is like the most basic entry-level requirement for storytelling. You might think that it barely counts as a story if there are no stakes. And if you think all of those things, you obviously have more artistic insight and higher standards than any executive at Marvel Studios.
Well, I mean, but that's not true though. I mean, like let's be honest. Okay, I think stakes are important, sure, but let's say you're watching like a World War II movie. You know that Germany's going to lose in the end. Or even a biography, right? You're watching a biographical film. You're watching something like Oppenheimer. Granted, I didn't love Oppenheimer. I'm just going to use that as like a modern day example here. It's like, what are the stakes in Oppenheimer? None, really. You know what's going to happen. You know how the story plays out. But it doesn't mean that it's not compelling. It doesn't mean that it's not interesting or there's a good plot. You know, those things help, right? Sure. But just because a movie doesn't have stakes doesn't derive it from any sort of like enjoyment or entertainment. You know what I mean? And I think, again, just kind of a bad criticism at the end of the day.
After the montage, we get into what is going to have to suffice.
I mean, really, honestly, I would suggest too that like 99% of the movies that Matt Walsh watches are so boilerplate. It's like the bad guy loses and the good guy wins in the end, and that's it. You know, so that's most movies. Like, this is really no different from that, honestly.
As our central conflict, sadly. And the conflict is this. An evil psychic is on the loose who can jump into your mind and control your body. Now, I know what you're thinking. Boring. I'd rather go back to Sharp Tooth Guy.
How is that boring? That sounds actually kind of interesting. Oh, there's a person that can mentally control anybody? You can do a lot of cool stuff with that.
Rather go back to the Scorpion Guy. They were way cooler. I agree. But in fairness, there are some conceivable ways to tell a fun story where a superhero fights an evil psychic. Sadly, the filmmakers didn't conceive of any of those conceivable ways. Now, the logistics of the mind leaping are important to understand. So the psychic can jump into another person's mind from your mind, like a kind of psychic leapfrog, but has to work within certain rather convenient, for the screenwriter, not for the psychic, physical limitations. So the psychic can only jump from one mind to another at distances of 33 feet or less, or approximately 2 car lengths. So if you keep a social distance of 34 feet, then you're safe. Now, you might hear that and think,
that is kind of dumb. I don't... Why not just make it to where it's like you have to see the other person or something? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
Well, how would they figure that out? Like, that must be kind of interesting that they had to figure out that rule. Well, it's not interesting because Spider-Man discovers the 33 feet limitation, a pivotal piece of information, by asking his computer. Yes, Spider-Man, along with having superpowers, also has a magical computer that can figure anything out and solve any problem in seconds. Now, you might think that a movie about superpowered beings wouldn't also need the deus ex machina of superpowered computers, but if you...
dog, we have AI. Like, what do you mean? Like, we have AI, dog. Like, we have that now in the real world. Okay? It's not a magical computer. It's just like, okay, it's analyzing data and compiling it. Congrats, you just described Palantir. You know, you just described Palantir, dog. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Spider-Man has access to Palantir. That makes sense. Yeah.
You think that, then you're simply expecting too much of Marvel screenwriters. I mean, as we've seen for many years now, Marvel screenwriters have the easiest job in human history. They can come up with any problem for their character to face, and then having spent like 4 minutes trying to imagine a creative and logical way for the character to solve it, they can just wave their hand and say, you know, and then the computer figures it out. Spider-Man gets in a bind, and what's he going to do this time? You know, the computer, whatever. The computer does a thing. Or they can have the superhero suddenly develop the specific superpowers that he needs to escape that particular jam, which is a device also used in this movie. The one thing a Marvel screenwriter will never do, and has never done in this universe or any of the trillion others, is devise a clever and unexpected escape route for the character that obeys the logic of the world they've created while not relying on the cinematic equivalent of the red easy button from those Staples commercials 20 years ago.
Today we'll be performing a triple Hoffman with a procedure.
But you've never done that before.
That's okay.
Staples. That was easy.
The computers serve another purpose too, and you've already guessed it. Marvel had a brand partnership with the company that made these, I think it's Asus computers or something, Asus, I don't know. And the characters use those computers a lot. So if you're hoping to see an action movie where the action heroes spend like a quarter of the runtime fiddling around on their computers, you're in luck. I was just disappointed that we didn't get to see other household devices featured prominently. What about like a 12-minute sequence where Spider-Man loads his KitchenAid dishwasher? Maybe they're saving that for the next film. One can only hope. We should note here, by the way, that Peter Parker has no job and no source of income, yet can afford all of the products that they're constantly showing off. He can also afford the lease on his apartment, despite, again, having no...
You want to file his tax? Is that what you wanted to file his fucking taxes on the movie too? How does he afford a freaking computer and he doesn't have a freaking job? That doesn't make sense. Like, oh my gosh, dude. Like, you know, it's like you just can't have it both ways, dog. You know? Do you want to see him working? Do you want to see him go to fucking work too? You want to see how he, you know, how many dependents he fucking claims? Like, I don't. Oh my god, dude, this is so bad. All right,
no income. And these might seem like nitpicks, but
when
you're spending $225 million to make a movie, and when that movie is hailed by critics and audiences alike, as this one has been, I don't think it's too much to ask that someone during the course of production makes some kind of effort to fill at least the most glaring plot holes.
It's not a plot hole. How is that a plot hole? Do you know what a plot hole is? That's not a plot hole. That's just they didn't bother to get into the minutia of Spider-Man's fucking bank account. And also, I love the fact that you highlighted that, like, wow, everyone loves this movie, despite the fact that they didn't address Spider-Man's income. You know, maybe they know what they're doing and you don't. Maybe you're just a crotchety old fucking retard pretending to be mad at the internet on a kids movie. You know.
Now, it turns out that the psychic is a girl named Jean Grey, who is, or I guess will be in the next Marvel movie, a founding member of the X-Men. Jean Grey is trying to break into a secretive government agency called the Department of Damage Control. And it's saved for a late reveal that this secretive government agency is, you'll never guess it, actually sinister. And this will come as a surprise to you if you've never seen any movie ever. But if you are familiar with movies, especially Marvel movies, then you know that secret government agencies are literally always sinister.
As opposed to them in the real world, where they're always actually really good, right? As opposed to, as we all know, the CIA is great. They've never done anything wrong. You know, I love the CIA so much. They're just they're killing it, really.
Which is the only point where Marvel movies resemble real life, actually. That part is realistic. Now, Gray's go-to strategy for breaking into the agency is to mind leap into a random old lady, have the random old lady steal a tank, drive the tank slowly and laboriously across town, slam it into another secret government building, kidnap the villain Scorpion, who's being held there in custody, mind leap into him, and then have him, I guess, break into the other secret government agencies building across town. Again, I'm not making any of this up. That's really...
I don't know. That sounds kind of cool, actually. Honestly, that sounds like a pretty good plan. Yeah. What's the problem there? That actually tracks.
The plan. I mean, you might wonder, like, why didn't she just mind leap into someone who works in the building she's trying to access? Or at the very least, if you're going to slam...
Well, because for one, I'm not sure who knows. They probably just don't like publish the details of who works there, you know, for one. Two, that'd make a really fucking boring movie, wouldn't it? So you're mad that the movie isn't more, you're complaining that the movie's boring, and then your proposal to fix the movie is to make it more boring. Oh, okay.
Slam a tank into a building? Why not slam it into the building you're trying to get to? Why slam a tank into a different building, kidnap someone, and have them go into the building you want to go to? But apparently this woman with godlike mental powers never thought of that. After that...
Because that would be retarded.
That plan fails, her plan B is to mind leap into the Hulk and have the Hulk smash into the building.
Again, that sounds awesome. That actually sounds pretty cool.
That plan also makes no sense, but it provides an excuse for the Hulk to show up, so...
That sounds awesome, actually. Like, what's the problem with that? What is even the issue with... Oh, man, like... I hate it when the Hulk's in the movie and he fucking wrecks everything. That's...
You know, they can put him in the trailer, which is the only reason he's there. Eventually, we find out that the evil psychic isn't actually evil at all. She's just trying to rescue her psychic sister, who was kidnapped by, you know, the bad government guys. The problem is that... Remember that tank I mentioned? After having the old woman hijack the tank, she blows up the tank. No doubt killing dozens of people for no reason. It didn't advance her objective or achieve anything aside from death and destruction. She also inhabits Spider-Man's ex-girlfriend, has her kiss Spider-Man without her consent, by the way, and then throws her off a roof. And she causes another random guy, just some poor guy.
Wait, is he complaining about consent now? I can't believe it. I can't believe... This woman's a freaking rapist. She is a that girl raped that girl. She made her kiss Spider-Man. That's fucked up. Honestly, I'm with him on that. That's so fucked up. I'm with him. As a new woke progressive liberal myself, I cannot condone this movie now. I was thinking about going to go see it because Matt Walsh's take was really bad, and he's just shutting the fuck out. You know, he really is shutting the fuck out. No, I'm kind of with him on this one now because sexual assault is not okay. Sexual assault should not be a plot device in your movie and treated so glibly and so frivolously, you know? That girl, she was being mind controlled and being forced to kiss Spider-Man, Tom Holland. Yuck. And everyone should boycott and protest this movie now.
Random guy to step into traffic and get flattened by a moving vehicle. So on paper, this is one of the most evil and murderous villains in the history of comic book movies, and yet she gets off scot-free. There's no justice at all. She's a good guy. We're meant to believe she has a heart of gold the whole time. Aside from like the murder and attempted murder of countless innocent civilians, she really means well. Now, Spider-Man does not defeat the psychic in a final battle. There is no final battle. Instead, the psychic leaps into Spider-Man's mind, where in Spider-Man's mind, she meets the dearly departed Aunt May, who tells her, who actually sits her down on a bed and sits with her, like a scene from Full House, and tells her that she's a really special person, and then teaches her about the power of self-acceptance. Again, I'm not kidding. That's the climax of this movie. The villain is brought down from her murderous rage and turned into a good guy instantly because somebody calls her special.
Okay, but I also want to point this out. Were you not just complaining 5 minutes ago that all of these characters are static and that they never change or have a change of heart? You know? I mean, it does sound a little gay. I'm with you. Like, it doesn't sound all that great, admittedly. But I'm just saying, 5 minutes ago, you're like, none of these characters have any sort of progress or change and blah, blah, blah. And then one does, and you're like, but not like that. It's like, oh, okay, man. Well, I don't know what to tell you.
Now, later on, the Punisher, apparently inspired by all of this weepy speechifying, cries and tells Peter Parker that he's his best friend. Sorry, I forgot to mention that the Punisher is in this. It didn't really need to be mentioned because he serves no purpose and doesn't advance the plot in the slightest bit. How could he? His only superpower is that he has guns. What's your superpower? Oh, I have guns.
Shouldn't you love that? Shouldn't this be like your guy? You know, like you would think, like, as a conservative, you'd be like, the Punisher's fucking awesome. We need a Punisher, but he's like conservative. Fucking takes out all the fucking people that I don't like. You know, you'd think you'd be like that.
Oh,
that's awesome.
Wow. No one's thought of that before. And there's not much assistance that he can offer a superhuman, indestructible being who also has a supercomputer that can do anything and solve any problem. Now, one thing these superhero movies have never figured out, aside from, how to come up with a compelling plot or compelling dialogue or compelling characters, is how to make it so that their superpowered god creatures are vulnerable enough that they can be plausibly hurt or helped by other characters who aren't superhuman. This is a nut that Marvel has never cracked. And that's why they threw a guy into the Avengers whose only power is that he's a pretty good shot with a bow and arrow. And he's somehow supposed to provide invaluable contributions to a group that also includes Thor, an intergalactic deity who has the unlimited power to do anything.
Yeah.
And doesn't.
Not realistic, is it? I hate that. I really hate. Freaking really unrealistic.
Even need the help of a Samsung Galaxy phone, much less a short guy with a weapon that hasn't been relevant in combat for 500 years. All that to say, the Punisher has no reason to be in this movie, but he's another selling point to put in the trailer, and that's all the purpose he really needs to serve.
Yeah.
So the movie ends with Peter Parker and Jean Grey learning that it's okay to be different. Yes, that is very close to an actual line in this movie. A movie that is critically acclaimed and hailed as one of the best Spider-Man films of all time, which is a bit like bragging that the meal you just ate for lunch was the best gas station hot dog you ever had in Cleveland. Now, that said, I did feel inspired by the message in a certain way. After all, everybody else seems to love this movie. It has a 90% critics rating on Rotten Tomatoes. It has a 98% audience score. 98% of the comments under this video right now are almost certainly angry, bordering on homicidal. And so that puts me firmly in the minority. It makes me different. But like Aunt May told the serial killer psychic with a heart of gold, it's okay to be different. If only Marvel Studios would take its own advice. If only it would ever make a movie that takes even the smallest risk or the slightest creative gamble or tries to say anything but the vaguest hallmark platitude.
Dude, it's for kids. It's for kids. It's for kids, dog. It's for you know what I mean? It's for kids. Okay? Like, yeah, you know, here's the thing. Would you not find it concerning if you yourself as a 40-year-old man were watching a Marvel movie and you were like, "Wow, that was really deep." You know, like, I mean, really. I would. If that happened to me, I would be like, yeah, damn, something's not right here. You know, I gotta really start reading books or something. I really gotta like read a fucking novel or something because I'm getting life advice here from fucking a Spider-Man movie. You know, like, yeah, you don't need. What do you want? What do you expect? It's fucking Spider-Man, dog. Like, what did you want fucking you want fucking Spider-Man to read Nietzsche? Is there yeah, like, what's your goal here with this exactly? You know, it's for like 8-year-olds, and 8-year-olds be like, oh wow, maybe I'll stop picking on the retard kid at school because it's okay to be different. You know, like that's really what they're going for. All right, that's what it's about. It's for kids. You know.
But why would it do that when it can put in no effort, expend zero creative energy, and still make a zillion dollars? That's the real moral of this story. And the other moral is that in my house, we need to go back to me picking the movies. I mean, Spider-Man? Just walk up to him and shoot him in the head. Suit yourself.
All right, that was awful. That was like the worst fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. Oh, I got ratioed Matt Walsh too. That's great. Let's go. I didn't even realize that. I got the ratio. That's crazy. Let's go. I'm the best. I'm the best. I'm the best.